Hi everyone, welcome to On the DL here at AskTheDoctor.com's Health and Wellness series. I hope you're having a great day. We have a special guest today. I think you want to sit down, get comfortable for this conversation. It's going to be a candid conversation, maybe a little bit uncomfortable for some of you, but it's something that we need to talk about. We need to get it out in the open and bring attention to a huge problem that's been going on pretty much everywhere, not just in our city, but across Canada and across the United States as well. We're going to be joined live with Director X. I'm not sure if you've heard of him before. Pretty funky name for sure. He goes by X. I looked into it. And he has become synonymous with some of the most iconic music videos out there. Just to name a few, one of course, one of my favorites, Hotline Bling. And he has of course worked with Drake many times and with Rihanna on her music video work, and also with Beyonce. He's also a film director, he is a producer, and now he is pushing forward a movement around violence and gun violence and how we as individuals, as community members, and also as a society as a whole, what we can do to help this, make our brains healthier. He has a lot to say. He's got a lot to talk about today with us. He is also a survivor of gun violence. And what he did with that experience is something that we need to speak about. We are going to bring attention to violence today in a way that, for many of us, to heal our brains. We're not all violent individuals, I know that, of course, but a lot of us do need some healing. And some of the stuff we're going to be talking about is healing, and primarily around meditation and mindfulness. And it's really has become more of a movement than we understand. Some people meditate, others have brushed it off. And for sure, people who are younger, who are at risk, are not taking care of their brains. I'm going to let Director X talk about it when he joins us here live on Instagram about his Operation Prefrontal Cortex. This is really unbelievable. He is bringing on lots of people into this movement to talk about how we can create mindfulness and awareness around mindfulness and meditation. As well, he has been trying to bring it into schools and push that forward. And maybe as parents, we can think about how we can incorporate mindfulness and also how we can incorporate meditation into our daily practice. I'm just going to get X here. He's coming in here right now, and we're going to, in one moment, I think he's coming. Hey there.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm good.
Lovely of you to join us today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
You know, I was saying before you got on, I said some of what we're going to talk about might not be so comfortable for people, but I believe that's part of the conversation. We need to open this up to get people to start thinking a little bit more openly around, I'm going to hand it off to you, but around violence and how we can really help not just ourselves, our families, but our community as a whole, and how we can all come together collectively now. And really, this is the time for all of us to pivot, don't you think?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of things to talk about. There's mental health, there's the violence in our community, there is even natural medicine. The way I got into this whole thing with AskTheDoctor.com was when he commented on one of my natural medicine posts. So there's a few things for us to conversate about in this one.
Okay, so let's start. I think your story is incredible. What you did with your experience is incredible. So I want to take you back. Maybe we'll touch upon it just briefly, but maybe take me back to 2015 on New Year's Eve.
I mean, I had a party where someone shot someone else on the dance floor. That bullet went through 2 people and hit me. So they had to take the bullet out of my side that night. And it wasn't really I wouldn't say it's the beginning of the journey, but it's the key moment in this conversation, which, God is good, right? There's a way. My presence in this conversation can't be sidelined after that night, right? So as I now, how do we do? TEDx Toronto asked me to do a talk.
Yes.
And I did a talk on message to the man. It's called Message to the Man Who Shot Me. Right?
Yes, I saw. Mm-hmm.
And that talk was bringing together. I've read different things along the line. Like I'd read about criminal and aggressive and violent behavior, criminal behavior, and how they saw parts of the brain reacted to that. Then I saw another article that's something along the lines of like kids that are abused, kids that aren't loved, does something to the brain in the same sections of the brain. So they said people who are violent and aggressive, that their brain, they see in the prefrontal cortex, it's smaller than the average brain, and the amygdala was larger than the average brain. Then, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Then I read another article about childhood abuse and neglect, or kids not getting love, and it affects the brain, and said something about the prefrontal cortex not being as big and the amygdala being too large. Oh, that's interesting. Then time goes by, and I come across some more articles about meditation, and this said, the meditation changes your brain. It gives volume to your prefrontal cortex and shrinks your amygdala. Ooh, that's it.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty interesting stuff. Just freezing on us. It's okay. We'll be patient. We'll wait for you. There you go. Yeah, we're back. Okay.
Yeah. And so I did my TEDx on that, bringing that information together, and how meditation can change the brain and change the parts it changes. The parts of the brain that it changes are the parts that are also associated with violence and aggression. So when they looked at bringing into meditation, like one of the most violent middle schools in San Francisco, introduced meditation, suspensions cut in half. I spoke to a principal in New Jersey. Now that principal is also one of the superintendents. He had meditation going on his school. Again, suspensions cut in half. Academic performance all goes up. Like if the school changes. When with violent prisons in Mexico, they introduced meditation. They had a riot in this prison. 44 people were murdered in the one riot. Yeah, they introduced a mindfulness program, a meditation program to the inmates and the guards. Mm-hmm. No extreme cases of violence since, right? So you see how this goes, and now from that TED Talk, Operation Prefrontal Cortex was born. And our program is to bring meditation into the schools, mm-hmm. into the community groups, into the correctional system, and into the streets themselves through a mentorship program in the streets. And now we've also found that stress changes the brain. Guess what chronic stress does? Shrinks your prefrontal cortex and enlarges your amygdala.
And for children?
Everybody. This is what chronic stress. This is what stress does. So we're having these two conversations, abuse and neglect, and we have to be very clear and this is important. A lot of us can wrap our heads around children that are abused. They grew up in a bad neighborhood, they grow up in a bad home, and then that's how they end up walking down this path of being violent young people into violent adults. But we don't really address the neglected child, right? Mm-hmm. So we still look at school shootings, especially in America.
Right.
Oh, what happened? Must be the video games. Mm-hmm. How much do their parents work? Mm-hmm. How often were those children cared for? Because mm-hmm. in our middle and upper class, and since no one wants to really take those looks at themselves, oh no, I'm a good parent because I got a 2-car garage, 2 cars, kid, food, clothes, video game system, good parent, done, keep it moving. Right?
Yeah,
without
no.
taking those hard looks at what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it's a very serious thing that we all have to look at, because beyond even the extreme cases that kid lashes out and tries to hurt other people, but there's many other forms of aggression that are very, very hurtful and very damaging. We all remember going to school.
How early on do you think that mindfulness meditation can be introduced to children?
The earlier the better. There's studies. I mean, at the age of Google, you type it right in. In fact, on our website, PFC, and let me put that in there.
Yes, we're going to get that up there.
Dash pfc.com. We have a downloadable PDF.
Okay.
That is all about school mindfulness in schools. From a very young age, you can go single digits, 3, 4, 5, however, and the earlier you start, the more things start to change. Forget even violence and aggression. Their academic life improves. Their social life improves. Their physical life improves. Everything about life improves the younger we start with kids and start teaching them meditation and mindfulness, to the point that violence and aggression isn't an issue, right?
And how often should they be meditating?
I mean, I would say every day. When they took maximum security prisoners, about 200 and something maximum security prisoners, and the regular participants, they meditated maybe twice a week, maybe 20 minutes a week, and they saw a great difference in their aggression, their way to socialize, how they perceive norms, like the massive changes just from that. So it's a big deal. The more you can do it, the better. I'm now up to 30 minutes a day of meditation. So, I took the challenge. Well, when the quarantine happened, I got time. We got time.
You got time.
I got time to grow hair and meditate. So
I noticed that. I noticed your.
We all, you know what I mean?
Like,
I was tempted. I was tempted to get a lineup today, but I'm not even doing that. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna just let it grow and deal with it.
Why
But
not? So,
why not?
do you meditate in the morning? Do you meditate at night? Does it matter what time?
I normally do the morning.
Yeah.
I normally do the morning. Oh, and so here's a little trick for the non-meditator. Do you meditate yourself?
I try.
So here's a little trick for everyone. You got some good headphones?
Yeah.
Here's the trick. You get yourself, go get your favorite if you have meditation music, or you can go to YouTube and download some meditation music, or you can even what I use. You ever heard of Major Lazer?
No.
Okay, Major Lazer is a friend of ours named Jillionaire, and they have an app called Endl. Right?
Oh yes.
So Endl's really great. So I like the sleep mode. So this is sleep, and then you can touch it and it makes little sounds. This is the F is for focus. Right? So I'll just let that rock while we talk. So
that's incredible.
Right. So you can download that app. There's tons of meditation, but I've downloaded Endl and I play the sleep mode and then I meditate.
You play the sleep mode in the morning?
Yeah, I like for meditation, it's the most like Zen one. So right. So, but you choose the one you like. But again, you can go on YouTube, meditation music, you can do Endl, you can find something that you like. Wear the headphones.
Someone just asked, how do you spell the app?
EN, I'll put that into.
Okay. I appreciate that. I have so many questions to ask you, and I'm just letting you speak because I'm loving hearing you speak about all of this. I think that this is really.
Okay. Endl has an actual. Of course, they have an Instagram page, so I'll put that up there.
Endl.
Okay. So the reason. So here's what's important about what I've noticed. Can you grab that muse? Endl sound. No, it's in the. So I put on the headphones and I meditate, and you block out all outside sound, and you also it gets deeper. So, and the reason why I now say this is, so this is called the Muse headband.
Yep. Oh, choose Muse. Yep.
Choose Muse, exactly. You can wear the Muse headband, and right. So what's very cool about Muse is once you do it, I can look at my meditation history.
Okay.
and it gives you a chart like this.
Wow.
So that's I was in this meditation that says I was active. So active is, your brain is going. So I was active for two seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I was neutral for 3 minutes.
That's good.
And I was calm for 26 minutes.
That's even better.
That's great.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty good.
Right. But so watch. So, and I got all these great scores now. One day, and this was wearing the headphones. One day I decided I was going to do it without the headphones and just play the music on a speaker. And I was only calm for 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So,
I feel like that's my problem. That's my problem.
The headphones,
I
man.
just cannot. And
get the headphones.
Are you breathing?
Yeah, you're breathing. You should through your mouth. I breathe through my mouth. But get the headphones, play the music, breathing through your mouth, and do your meditation that way. And again, you block out all the other sound. Those results speak for themselves. When I put the headphones on and I play the music, I'm 90% calm, 80% calm, 60. I'm always very, very calm. Even when I played the music and did not use the headphones, 18%. So headphones.
Okay, so this is important because I feel that people are watching this and everybody has good intentions, right? People are watching this and they're feeling like, I want to do this. I want to try this. I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know when I'm going to incorporate this. Did you ever think before this experience, before you were shot or you were the victim of, you weren't personally shot, I take that back, you were a victim of gun violence?
Yeah, no, I was shot. I got the bullet.
Okay, you were shot.
Yeah, I was shot.
But you weren't shot at. You weren't the intent.
I wasn't shot at, no.
No, you weren't the intended target. But before all that, did you think that your life would change ever, that you would be meditating 30 minutes a day? Someone would have asked you. Right.
No. I mean, look, before that, I didn't start meditating because of this. I was meditating already.
Oh, you were? Okay.
But, when I first started, I meditated in the shower. That was my thing. Because in the shower, you get left alone. It felt like a lot of it was getting, the water is running and you're just there. And then I stopped doing that. I meditated when I woke up. Okay. And now I've found the headphones really changed things. Big up HSP Sound. Talented kid right there. Y'all should check him out. Great singer from Toronto.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Yeah, he's in the chat. So
Hi from India.
Hey, what's up? We're international. So this is what's in finding what works for you and evolving it, right? It is that. And there's a lot of apps that do meditation now. Calm, Headspace.
Yeah, Calm's great.
Yeah, there's tons of them. Muse itself, if you get the Muse headband on their app, they actually have guided meditations as well. They have a cool one. It's almost like a meditation video game where when you're active, you hear rain, and then when you're calm, you hear birds.
Wow, that's cool.
It's cool, but I found it's good. Doing that is good to see how you're breathing, making the connection between your breathing and calm. I enjoyed that. But either way, find something that works for you, because at the end of the day, it is brain exercise. Your prefrontal cortex gets larger. Your amygdala gets smaller, and those are the parts of the brain that deal in decision. So the prefrontal cortex is decision making, and the amygdala is emotional control. Okay, the smaller your amygdala, the more emotional control you have. The larger your prefrontal cortex, social interactions, it controls a bunch of stuff. Your hippocampus grows, a whole bunch of stuff starts happening in the brain. Just like if every morning you woke up and you did push-ups, after about a month, you're gonna be like, hey. Well, after a little while, you're gonna feel the change in your brain.
This is a muscle also, right?
It's a big muscle. Yeah. So
I want to share something with you because while I was doing a lot of reading and researching, part of our conversations here, this series on the DL, which I started before I collaborated with Ask the Doctor, was about having candid conversations. Hence the name On the DL, also playing on my initials. But I wanted to have conversations with people about things that were not necessarily out there, mainstream, talking about certain things. And this really falls, I feel this topic falls into it. But also part of this show was that I promised viewers and followers that I was going to give a little bit of myself and that I would share something each and every time I had a guest on to show that I'm just as real as everybody else and trying to connect. And what I wanted to talk to you about, and this is very personal, but I feel like I want to share this with you, is that when my children were very young, I raised my children as a single mother. For most of their life, they are now 13 and 15 boys. There was lots of issues with their dad, lots of issues with divorce, lots of issues with severe learning issues and emotional regulation. And I turned to mindfulness and meditation for both of them. My older son is 15 and a half. He will be starting his mindful meditation class in about 2 hours, which he does weekly.
Oh, wow.
He's doing it virtually right now because of COVID. And my younger one, who just turned 13, has been practicing for 3 years.
It's incredible.
And I will tell you, I have watched them change and grow. And it's been huge for me as a parent to see this. And we had lots of issues here.
Yeah.
I wish I could take my own advice and start meditating a little bit more. But I wanted to share that with you because I'm proof as a mother watching her children go through a lot and seeing the difference that breathing and meditation has done for them.
That's amazing. Look,
yeah.
Look, it's great for everybody. And look, my trick, I would suggest this for you. If you're really having trouble finding time, do it before you actually get out of bed. You wake up, and when you wake up, you know you're up. Like, okay, it's happening.
I know.
No more naps. It's begun. You know.
Yeah.
You sit up and do your meditation, right? Start with 5 minutes, start with 10 minutes, play a guided meditation, right? And there you go.
Do you have to be alone?
No, you can be. Look, it's up to you. Again, with the headphones, it doesn't matter. You block it. I actually do even the blackout. You know, I do the mask now when I sleep.
Me too.
Baby, the headphones and the mask, you gone. You trust me, you out of there.
Tell everybody again where they could find these headphones.
Well, no, the headphones, do you mean the music or the headphones? Headphones you can get anywhere.
Okay, any kind of headphones. You're just
I got the big chunk. I like the big chunky headphones. But everyone, so long as the music is going, do your thing, right? But hey, you know, that's what I like the big chunkies. Most people feel that you got some big chunkies.
Yeah.
Headphones, yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like everyone got it.
My kids have their Beats. They've got their big chunkies.
Yeah, I got Beats as well.
I've got the little AirPod things.
Well, now you got an excuse to get yourself some Beats because, you know.
Yeah, I got to treat myself.
You got to treat yourself for your morning meditation. You need the encompassing sound.
I know. Exactly. Do you feel a little bit worried about what's going on right now with youth, teens, maybe even people in their young 20s after being isolated for so long?
Yeah, I'm worried about it.
Not taking care of themselves, and now with summer upon us, so many of our kids and youth are really left to do not very much. Do you worry?
Yeah, look, I pay attention to politics, climate change. I pay attention to a lot. And so I've been worried. I've been worried about the planet and humanity for a while. Mm-hmm. But maybe the positive side of this is that this has made everyone stop and look, right? How can I be more healthy? What food can I eat that could possibly help ward off this disease before it gets in there, right? You know, you go to some stores now, you can't buy vitamin C. You can't buy more than one pack of vitamin C.
I know.
Two at a time.
Find it.
Right, because someone said, "Oh, hey, vitamin C. Yeah, and you should have vitamin C in your diet. Hey, iron. You know, there's some places you can't find garlic.
Right.
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 And they're right. Vitamin C is great. Garlic is great. So people are beginning to look around, and you know, at least in the Black community, there's a lot of people that were, hey, black seed oil and sea moss and all Black folks. A lot of people are reconnecting with grannies. You know, you hear when I was talking about herbal medicine a lot. Hey, this is like what my granny, this is like my auntie, this is like what my mommy, this is what getting sick was. You know, Eastern Europeans, hit them with the garlic, and we're West Indians, bitters, and like a lot of people reconnected with that part of ourselves, which is great. And that's not going to go away because yeah, you were taking turmeric because you were afraid of getting sick, but then you noticed your skin got clear and this feels
That's right.
better. You say, hey, well, maybe I'll just do this in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
People have reconnected with that. So now we're all acknowledging what's going on mentally, right? Physically. Hey, I need to move. I need to. And once you get these things into your life, they're there, right? And even if you don't keep it up the way you do when you're really on it, you've had that experience. You at least know you need to get back to it. Like someone who knows they need to get back to the gym, as opposed to someone who's never gone, right? Okay. So I'm hoping as we step out of this, we begin to see the world a little differently. I mean, we are 4 years away from the age of Aquarius, so here we go. The world has to change, anyways.
What do you suggest for, let's say, parents that are watching this right now that are really scared shitless for their kids? They're thinking, my kids are like caged right now. They need to let it out.
I mean, I think number one for all of us is a good mindfulness practice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Number one, which will help you deal with stress and deal with anxiety, and good for you, period, across the board, right? Starting your own meditation practice, getting into it. It's a whole lot easier to tell your kids to do it if you're doing it, right? And see the things that it does for your life and deal now with that stress. And you don't get overtaken by anxiety. You have control. And then from there, okay, well, what am I going to do? What can I do? What can we do with these kids? Where can we go? It is not, this is easy. We're staying inside because of a virus, yes. A couple of us know some folks that have had to stay inside because there were bombs dropping outside. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. we're Canada, we're an international place, and we know lots of people from lots of different places. And when they left their home country, it wasn't, a virus would have been, they would have preferred. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They ran from bullets and bombs and airplanes, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Right? So even our level of anxiety is still a first world level of anxiety. We can handle this. Mm-hmm. We can get it. Right?
And that's a good message to tell our kids. We can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can do this.
Yeah. This is easy first steps, right? Mentally getting ourselves in shape through meditation and mindfulness, physically getting ourselves in shape with a proper diet and some form of physical exercise. These are the building blocks of life. Because what we're now seeing is we're fighting over it. But to me, money's always been imaginary. It's a game chip that we're using. Yeah, it's my annoyance with the world that we have to pretend that this is a real thing. It's a real thing because it's make-believe. We've made it. We believe it. But here we are in our homes and we can't go out and work. And so we can't go out and work. So now they got to give you money. Well, where'd you get the money? We just, we went to the computer and we typed in more money and then there was more money. So the important things in life, which again are health. Starting, number one, we start from health. And now we're realizing our need for human interaction. And as we evolve as a species, I'm hoping for a planet and a humanity that sees the difference between the game chip and life. The game chip, hey, you got a great blog and everyone loves to listen to it. You deserve game chips. You deserve nice car and you deserve everything that comes from doing something that lots of people enjoy. You made something, you wrote some great. You get sick, the game chip should not be involved. You need an education. You need a place to live. You need food. There should be, hey, do you have enough of the game chip? But it's foolishness. Mm-hmm. It's foolishness. It's embarrassing. But like trying to explain humanity right now to visiting aliens would be embarrassing for us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So imagining a world in the coming age of Aquarius where we won't be embarrassed when aliens say, hey, so what do you all do for fun? And we're like, hey. What's up with Earth? Oh, you love Earth, man. I love it here. But right now, we ain't there yet.
What have you been working on during COVID? Have you working on anything? Have you been just taking
my beard? I've been working on my beard.
That's great. Well, it's coming. It's coming.
Bang!
Alive.
Got you.
Looks good.
Yeah, look, there's on the film, of course, we can't shoot anything, but there's development that can be done. There's writing for myself that can be done. To be very honest, I go through phases. Some weeks I'm on it, some weeks I'm not. And I've noticed even in correspondence with other people in the business, in a time when no one really has anything to do, very little gets done. We need the momentum of work. We need that thing to get outside and go and do and and just kind of moping or, you know, just being in the house.
Yeah, but you're saying, you know, take that step back, maybe take this time and really look at some of the changes, maybe a lot of changes that we need to make within ourselves. You know, fix yourself.
Yeah, definitely,
Right?
definitely. I've definitely got introspective. Yeah, I've definitely got introspective in this time. I think a lot of us, I hope a lot of us have taken the time to get in, because what are we doing?
Have you noticed that when the sun is out, how blue the sky is?
I haven't really taken a look to really notice. Definitely seen the pictures, but I myself haven't looked and said, "Oh wow, I see the difference."
You have to just, to me, that has been, I don't know, it fills me up. I go outside when it's sunny outside. It's sunny here in in Toronto, and I take a look and I'm just enamored by our sky. I love it. I'm like, that does it for me. I get very happy when I see the sky. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why the sky.
We have a very, well, you know, that's something we have not spoke about. The human connection to nature. I've actually seen studies that your bare feet on grass, on ground, there's a connection. There's the circuit connection as electrical beings connecting with the electrical planet. That's very healthy for you.
Yeah, right? But there's some areas around the world where they don't wear shoes.
Yeah, and it's important. Look, our connection to nature, it's not just a thing. It's not just a place we go outside every day. It's a vital part of life. And our connection to it is important. And us taking care of it is very, very important. And that's still a battle to have, man. We are definitely not out of the woods when it comes to climate change.
No, that's a whole other conversation. That's a whole other topic. You can come back anytime and talk to me about climate change. I would love that. That would be great.
I'd love to do it.
I'll hold you to that for sure. Before I let you go, I want everybody is asking over and over again where they can find out more information about Operation Prefrontal Cortex. So maybe you could.
I'm going to
put it up on. I'll put it up on Instagram.
Up.pfc. Give us a follow right here on Instagram. So there's up.pfc.
What about you?
And from there, that'll lead you to our website. You could donate to us because we. Let me put that in. We are raising funds to train community workers to go into the community and work with at-risk youth.
Okay.
Okay. So we're doing that work, and of course, every dollar counts. It helps with the work we're doing there.
Okay.
And yeah, this is serious because I don't know how much people are talking about it, but the violence hasn't really gone down in the city.
Really? Not even a little?
Maybe a little.
Maybe a little. Not a lot. Enough that we're talking about it for sure. Did you freeze on me again, X? You did. Are you back? Move your phone a little bit. Give it a wiggle. Where'd you go? To get X back on, he was saying that our youth are, someone just said our youth are everything, and we love this initiative, and they love his work. I love his work as well. Hopefully he'll come back on. We may have lost him, which is unfortunate because we're having such an incredible conversation. Oh, he's back. Okay, I'm gonna get him back on. Hold on one second. I'm going to invite him back on. View. Back. Here we go. He's coming back. There he is. He's connecting. There he is.
Yeah. There you go.
Thanks for
coming. Yeah, like I was saying, we still have, even in quarantine, the issue is still here with us. So work to do.
You're still, sorry for asking, I didn't know, but you're still in the Toronto area? You reside, you've been staying here? In the Toronto?
Well, my son is here, so I split my time between here and the United States.
Okay.
But I have a 10-year-old boy, so.
Oh, you do? I didn't know that. I apologize. I didn't know that.
It's all good. I mean, I'm a private West Indian. I don't talk much about all that. But you know, I'm here. I'm here. It's luckily, if you got kids, I don't know what your teenage experience has been like, but for those of us with kids before puberty, with their parents, where this is still
Again? Before
Yeah,
puberty, what?
I think
What?
if kids before puberty, when they still like hanging out with their parents, I think this is be an interesting time for them when they look back. Right?
Well, I will tell you, uh, puberty and boys. I grew up with all girls. I grew up with all female cousins, and then being a single mother raising boys, it really has been eye opening. I don't know what other word to use, but puberty and boys, puberty's not kind to some boys. And it's very difficult on them emotionally.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's hard. Oh God, yeah, it's hard. They become a little bit more isolated in here and not as emotive. And they get their emotions out in different ways. I find my older one's very different than my younger one. My younger one's very still young. He's just turned 13, so he's a lot more emotional and emotive. But my older one, I find he has closed off as he's gotten older. He's almost 16 now. But isolation, this has brought us closer.
Okay, good.
It has brought us closer.
Yeah,
because I make them talk to me.
You're right. It's an interesting time for families. This has been.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting time for families. And now I have stepchildren, so I have 3 more. So there's 5 of them now. So it's a different experience, and they're all teens. And it's yeah. Talk to me when your son is into puberty.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, it's a whole different experience. But if he is practicing mindful meditation now, you're ahead of it.
I hope so. Look, puberty is what puberty is, but yeah, here we go.
You should do something on it. You should do something on puberty.
Maybe when he's a teenager, I have a little more firsthand experience. Right now, that's just imagination.
That's a whole other beast.
Yeah.
I love that we got to speak today. I think that your work, your creativeness is brilliant, as most people would attest. Absolutely brilliant. And what you are doing, channeling your efforts, your creativity, all of your intelligence, your experience into this is an incredible thing. And I'm so excited that we were able to highlight it here. And we're going to keep talking about this. This conversation just started.
Great. Thank you.
So I hope if anybody has questions, just throw them my way, or maybe reach out to you on Instagram or wherever they can find you. And we'll keep that conversation going. And I got to go download an app when we get off the phone.
You do. All right. Thank you. It was good talking to you.
Thank you. It was amazing talking to you. Be well.
You too. Bye now.
Take care.